Hello and welcome to St. Wilfrid's online classes. Myself Pratibha Gupta. I teach business administration subjects, and for today's lecture I have taken the topic recruitment and selection. बच्चों आप लोगों ने recruitment और selection का ये नाम बहुत बार सुना होगा and most of the time you must have interchanged these two terms from recruitment to selection and selection to recruitment. But in this lecture we will see that how these two processes are completely different from each other and how do we go through the recruitment process and the selection process as well. क्योंकि हमने लास्ट क्लास में ह्यूमन रिसोर्स प्लानिंग के बारे में समझा था तो हम ये तो समझ गए हैं दैट ह्यूमन रिसोर्स इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एसेंशियल पार्ट इन द प्रॉपर वर्किंग ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बट अलॉन्ग विद द नंबर्स ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस आल्सो टू गेट द राइट कैंडिडेट एट द राइट पोजीशन सो दैट ही कैन परफॉर्म हिज वर्क एंड द असाइन्ड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी very carefully and very successfully. Correct? So to make sure that the person you are appointing is 100% correct for that designation, you need to go through a certain process, and these processes combinedly make recruitment and selection process. Correct? So what is recruitment and how it is different from selection? See, जब हमें एक पोस्ट पे एक डेजिग्नेशन पे एक व्यक्ति का चुनाव करना है सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस दैट वी हैव अ गुड नंबर ऑफ चॉइस ऑफ कैंडिडेट सो दैट वी कैन सेलेक्ट द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ देम राइट. आप भी अगर अपने लिए टी शर्ट भी खरीदने जाते हो सो देन यू डोंट बाय द टी शर्ट फर्स्ट यू सी एट द काउंटर. ऑफ कोर्स यू एक्सप्लोर मोर एंड मोर डिजाइंस, you explore more and more styles, you explore more colors, the fitting patterns, and then after exploring all the options you select the one best out of all these options available. So as we do while selecting the candidate or selecting the employee for the organization, we also try to explore more candidates so that we can be able to select the best candidate for our role. And for being able to find out so many choices of good candidates, we go through a process named recruitment. तो recruitment क्या करता है? Under that recruitment process, you promote yourself and you say that yes, there is a vacancy, there is a job opportunity available in your organization. That job announcement attract people who are seeking job or who wants to switch their job, correct? But then it is most important thing that your advertisement or your promotion should attract only those candidates who are capable enough or who are actually matching the requirement of your role or the designation you are offering. So what do we do in recruitment? We actually yes, we promote ourselves, we promote the job vacancy we have in our organization, but we also make sure to announce the required skills, the skills we are looking, the education level we are looking in that candidate to be selected. Right? So there is a certain process of recruitment. Let's have a look on this process, the steps. First is recruitment planning. You have to be very much sure that how many people at how many posts are you looking for. That comes under human resource planning. With the help of proper human resource planning, you get a clear-cut idea about how many employees are required at what designation in which branch of yours. Correct? So in recruitment planning, you finalize the number of employees, you finalize their job specification, like which roles and responsibility they will take care of once they will get selected to this position. So you make sure what type of person you are looking for, and that comes under recruitment planning. Right? As a human resource manager, suppose you are the human resource manager of Reliance and one of the production manager asks you to hire around 5 candidates in production team. So now as an HR person, you have to make yourself very clear that what type of work will be assigned to those 5 candidates which are going to be appointed in the production team. So first you have to be very clear about the roles and responsibilities you are going to offer into the market. So that is the recruitment planning, which makes your further process quite easy. Understood? And then this comes the strategy development. Once you have finalized that how many people and what type of skills set is that you are looking for under recruitment planning, you make the strategy that how will you move forward to find out the right candidate. There may be various sources. There may be the decision of the time period when you will go and have the interviews and the screening process. There will be the geographical area finalization. There will be the source through which you will go to the candidates. So all those things, like when you are going to do, what will be your selection criteria, what will be your selection procedure, in which area you are going to select your candidates, the answers of all these questions come under strategy development. The exact strategy you will be following to recruit the candidates, to attract the right candidates for your job offering, comes under strategy development. Once your strategy is finalized, you execute your strategy and you start searching for the place from which you can attract most of the right candidate, most of the good candidates among whom you are going to select the best one. So you start searching the people, you start searching the way to attract more and more people, and this searching may be through the internal sources or the external sources. So whenever this internal and external terms comes, it actually represents the organization. The internal term is the organization sources, the previous data, the HR data, the data of those candidates who have been applied in your organization in the past, the connection of your employees in the society, or the database your HR department is managing. So all data which is already available in the company becomes your internal sources of recruitment. And the external sources, it is very obvious to understand that external sources are the outside contractors, the counselors, the outside education institutes. There may be some internet data available, so on and so forth. So all the data which are available outside of your organization becomes the external data that you search, that helps you to recruit the candidates. After searching, what do? You screen the people. While recruiting, you do not exactly finalize that who is going to join your company or not, but you screen it at a broader level. Let's say you are looking in the production company. I will be continuing with the same example. In your production department, you are looking for the people who have the engineering degree specialized in the civil field. Correct? So now in that screening, you will shortlist those candidates who are BTech in civil stream. Correct? You may have received so many applications from the BTech candidates, but many of those BTech candidates may not have specialization in civil, or you may apply another filter that you are looking only for the candidates who have scored first division in their final semester. So you put a broad category or the broad filter to screen the candidates, which will help you to make your selection procedure more smooth and easier. In screening process, you actually are deducting those candidates who are not at all suitable for your organization. So this is the basic screening, and after that, this is the evaluating and controlling part you conduct for the recruitment process you have followed. So now as an HR manager, this evaluation process helps you to understand that whether you have gone correct or not, whether this recruitment process was fruitful for you or not, whether it has given you the right result you were looking for or not, because this evaluation will help you to make better changes in your further process for the future. Alright, so this is all about recruitment. Recruitment is the process of attracting the good candidates so that you can finalize the best one among them for your required role. Alright, so we'll move forward towards selection procedure. So now with the help of recruitment procedure, we have a good number of candidates who may be the right one for the offered role. But in selection process, with the help of selection process, you finalize the best choice for your organization, because finalizing or selecting the best candidate plays a major role in the further productivity of your organization, keeping the environment very cool and friendly, and keeping the teamwork up. So you have to be very careful while going through the selection procedure of the candidate. So now we start the selection procedure with reception. What are we doing in this process? We are actually receiving the CVs or or resumes of the prospect candidates who have been selected through the screening process while recruitment. Those people who are good enough, who may be good enough for the job, have those candidates' resume or the curriculum vitae is received during that reception process. So you give a particular time period that during these 10 days we will be receiving or accepting your applications for the job, and once that time period gets over, you stop receiving or considering the further applications. So this is the reception part, and then we'll go through the steps one by one. But before discussing all these things, I need to make one thing clear, that the selection procedure doesn't go same with all organizations. It is very much dependent that which type of work you are doing, which type of business you are in, and then you make the selection procedure finalized. Because if you are into army, you go to a different kind of selection procedure, but when you are into a fashion designing company, you go through a completely different selection procedure. So once we will go through the detail, and then we will continue with this point. Now the second point, after receiving the prospects application, now we will go through the preliminary interview. So now preliminary interview sometimes is called as HR round also, and during that HR round, your background, your family, your choices, your strength, your weaknesses are judged by the HR. Actually this is also a shortlisting procedure through which we get to know the broader information about your personality, and with this preliminary interview we again cut down those people who are not at all suitable with the mindset we are looking for. Correct? After that, there is a blank application form. Now, what is a blank application form, bachcho? It's a set performer of CV, which makes easier to compare the people. We have done that screening part, then we have done that preliminary interview. Now we have shortlisted certain number of people, but still those shortlisted people are more in number for HR to compare. Correct? So to make that compare thing easy, what does a company do? They have set a pattern of the information they are looking for. Like, you must have purchased a two-wheeler, and while that purchasing thing happens, while you go through the showrooms and browse the various options available in the market, you must have gone through a pamphlet where all the available models of two-wheeler are compared with each other. So there is a proper format where at one side all brands are written, and the another side all the characters or the features of that two-wheeler has been written, and all the brands are compared on the similar feature, like the price, like the strokes, like the style, or so on and so forth. So when you have one feature at one side and all the performance of all the brands, it is very easier for you to compare. When the HR collects all the CVs, the CV come in various formats, and it becomes so difficult for HR to compare the different format CVs with each other. But in the blank application form, what do? They set a pattern. First they'll ask the qualification probably, then they'll ask the experience of working, then they'll ask the hobbies. So when the pattern is set, all the candidates can be compared at one go. It will be easier for HR to compare the candidates. So that blank application form is nothing but the different kind of the set pattern of organization to get the information about the candidate, which has already been written in the CV, but then it was in a different manner. To make the HR work easier, they use that blank format. Moving ahead, there is selection test. Many of the organizations conduct the selection test based on logical reasoning, based on maths, based on their communication skills. But again, I was telling you that it completely depends on the organization and the role they are offering, that whether they'll conduct the selection test or not. You may have this process in many organizations, and many organizations may skip that process also. Many organizations may ask you to present something in front of people, where they can ask you to make any ad of something, they can ask you to have a group discussion, they can ask you to write an essay. So the selection test may be of various kind according to the requirement of the organization. So it is completely an HR thing to decide that what type of test they will be conducting, or whether they will be conducting the test or not at all. Moving ahead, now there will be the selection interview, what you know as a technical round. So now, if you are joining the production department, the people who are in production will ask you the technical part of production if you are going to join the finance part, because HR manager has taken the preliminary interview, which was related to your personal life, which was related to your emotional aspect, which was related to your personality. But then your technical experience or your technical qualification will be judged in that selection interview, where you will be scrutinized on the basis of your knowledge. Understood? And then there will be a checking reference. It is one of the most important part for keeping the security and the secrecy of organization, that the person is not having any criminal background. He is having a very clear character in the society, and he has a good rapport in the society. So there are reference check with the previous organization where the person has worked, or the institute from which he has done his course. After reference check, there will be a physical test. Again, it is dependent on the work you are being offered that there will be a physical test or not. If you are joining a company if you are joining a college for the teaching profile, so there is no requirement for a physical test. But if you are joining a security organization where the physical work will be allotted to you, or you are joining a chemical industry or something which is related with your physical strength, a physical test will be there. It will be related with your medical history. It will be related your blood group, your height, your weight, your eyes, the things you are allergic with, so on and so forth. After that, if you qualify all these rounds, you will be offered the job. There will be a written offering of the job, and all the things like your designation, your location, your salary, and the rules and regulations, everything will be written very clearly and in a legal manner while you will be offered the job. And the contract will also be, if there is any contract attached with the job offered, this will also be given at this level: job offer and contract. And once you accept that offer, once you sign that contract, you will be welcome for that organization. But the HR manager's role doesn't get end over here. HR manager again evaluate all the process to keep the further process better, so that he can do a better selection process in a better manner. He will evaluate the process he has conducted. So this was all about recruitment and selection. I hope you got the complete understanding of these topics. For further details of such topics in HR, you can keep watching our online classes. Thank you. Keep sharing and subscribing. Thank you.